Hey man. So I decided to do a YouTube video so I could do like all your YouTube heroes, but also mostly just because after I talked to you about your guitar, there were, I want you to know like what you're playing and kind of, what's going on with all that stuff. So I actually have a guitar that's almost the same as yours, but the lighting sucks. So don't expect like professional quality sound out of this thing either. This is literally just my laptop. So, but this is a Squire. Uh, Stratocaster. So this is similar to what you have, like First Act and Squire. I don't know which one's better. I don't know. It probably depends on which model you buy. This is a Stratocaster type guitar. So like Fender, is famous for making the Stratocaster. This is like kind of by Fender. I think Fender's on there somewhere. Like you can see like Squire's real big, and then Fender is like way down there. That says Fender in its pixelated form anyway. So Fender's like partially taking credit for this guitar. So anyway, yeah, these are your pickups. These are single coils because they just have like it's the single bar, so it's a single coil pickup. Your 5-position switch is the same as yours. So you either get this pickup only, both of these, only this one, both of these, or only this one. And that's how what's your switch is actually doing. So your tone knobs on these kind of suck because there's no way to control the tone on this one, so it's just super bright sounding or whatever. But also the other tone potentiator in here is broken on mine, so I'm gonna have to. I don't know what I'm gonna do if I'll ever replace it. But screws on either side of the pickup, which I'm getting blown out here, but the screws on the sides of the pickup actually move the pickup up and down, so closer to the strings or further away from the strings. And so that's something I haven't set up on this guitar yet. And these little screws in here will move the string up and down. And so you can match the fretboard radius. And so all the fretboards are a little different. So like this guitar is a lot different from this sexy monster back here. So the fretboard radius on this one is 9.5 inches. So that means like if you draw a circle, if you took this fretboard and you lined up a bunch of fretboards until they made a circle, the radius of that circle will be 9.5 inches. This one I think is 12 inches. So it's basically like an almost completely flat fretboard. I like the flat ones better because I just played with them more. So versus like the other side. So this is the neck pickup because it's near the neck, because that's a pretty cool way to name that. So you can see it's kind of like darker sounding, and then that's a lot brighter. So anyway, that's pretty much what that does, and then everything in between and all that stuff. So otherwise, these you probably know a lot of this stuff already. These are tuning keys, but they're different than the ones on my other guitar back here. Anyway, this is called the nut, where your strings go from there. This is through, I don't want to say, it's not a through body sort of way. It's kind of goes through the bridge or whatever. The strings go in, on the back side. Probably yours do the same thing. And this is the bridge. Ugh. And this little guy here, by the way, is a string tree. That just holds downward pressure on your string so it stays in the nut. It's supposed to help it stay in tune. I actually took one out of mine, like the one in the middle, because I think they've got a good enough downward angle, and sometimes it can actually make it not stay in tune if you have those in there. So, and of course the frets. You know about frets. Yeah, that's pretty much a guitar. Oh, there is one other difference though between these two. This is a bolt-on neck. That makes no difference whatsoever in the way the guitar sounds, but this neck is actually bolted on right here versus I'll show you the other guitar here in a second. So this is the Les Paul style guitar. So obviously you can see it looks a lot different. The headstocks are always kind of big and giant like that, which makes, if you drop it on the back of this, like it will totally break the headstock off. So you never want to drop a Les Paul. Like the Stratocaster is not such a big deal. But this is a Les Paul. They always look like this. The body always looks like this with a single cutaway. You know, they're kind of fat. This one you can maybe see, like, it's not flat on top. It's kind of rounded, so it kind of bows out in the middle. And it's got this kind of, like, the scratch guard on it is sort of like this weird, like, bracket that holds it up. So these are humbuckers. So this is like just a cover for the humbuckers, basically, but inside it looks like two of those single coil ones just right next to each other. And so there's two sets of humbuckers. So I'll show you the difference in a minute though. This has a lot more controls. So a Les Paul guitar will actually have a tone and a volume control for each one of these. And so it's the same kind of thing though. It's got 3 positions on its toggle switch here. And so you can either do just this pickup, both of them, or just this one down here. And I actually have kind of a cool, I guess it's cool. I don't know. You're younger than me, you know what cool is. I don't. But like mine, you can do coil splitting where it will actually only use one of the single coils in the humbucker. So like if I grab this and pop it out, all of a sudden this becomes just like one single coil pickup. So it like cancel, I don't know how it works. Probably it's magic or something like that. But it cancels out one of the humbucker or one of the single coils in there. And it's supposed to sound more like a single coil. It does kind of. You know, they're a lot quieter. Single coils, like because there's only one, they're just not as loud. And like when you put a lot of distortion on them, they make that horrible humming sound that comes out of your amp. So that's because it's a single coil. So the humbuckers literally buck the hum. Like somebody was like, how can we, I guess they were at a rodeo and they're like, if I could only buck the hum from my guitar like that bull bucked that guy and broke his ribs. And then they figured it out. This fretboard is freaking awesome. So this is an ebony fretboard where it's like real dark. I think this one is like rosewood. You can't tell the difference, I'm noticing, on the monitor. But this one's like, it feels like a lot more like faster, I guess. Like your fingers slide over it a lot better. It's really awesome. So this, the other thing with the tuning keys that's different on this one is this has locking tuners. So on the back, like you can see, these are just closed boxes on the Fender or the Squier. They're just closed boxes, and you can't really do anything with those. So on the back of these, you actually can tighten these. My monitor sucks, or my camera, but you can actually tighten these. And so the way you replace the strings, you don't actually wrap it around. You just put it through and then tighten those in the back, and it actually clamps down on the string and just holds it. So it doesn't go around. You can just see the string sticking out over here. So the string just goes in, through, and then gets clamped down. And so it actually helps a lot. It keeps the guitar in tune better. So hopefully it's in tune. The other thing about guitars, like this is really glossy, which looks nice, but it's, you know, if your hands get really hot, they can stick to it. And that's one cool thing about this Fender, or the Squier, is that it's like a really matte finish, and so you can slide around the neck a little bit easier. So this is what I ended up with. So the one all the way to the right is, I'm running out of cord here, but that's a Tube Screamer, the green one, all the way to the right. And this is like how you set it up. So that's my power supply. I have not actually set this all up yet, so it's just sitting on the floor, but that's a Tube Screamer Mini. It's just as good as the bigger one, and it's like 25 bucks cheaper. So it's like a super classic one. This one is Cinders. Is basically like a blues driver, they say. So it doesn't change your sound as much. Like your guitar still sounds like your guitar, your amp sounds like your amp, but it's got distortion. So, and this is the Rev pedal, the Rev G4, and it's like super, super high gain. It's got more controls for different stuff. And then this guy is really cool. The Flashback is the delay pedal, and it's got like a ton of different delays and stuff on it. I'll show you that in a second. If you're still watching, and if you're not, I understand. All Les Pauls are kind of like this though. The jack is here, so if you're sitting on your couch and you're like, you have to like be hovering, whereas the Fender or the Squier, I keep calling it a Fender, but the Squiers is over here, So you can actually sit down somewhere without the little jack getting in the way, which is cool. But I like to play with humbuckers because they're darker, and so if you like to play blues, they're like a little bit darker sound. I haven't played this guitar today, so I was playing the other one to figure it out. And so that's like the bottom, the bridge pickup is a little brighter. And then the neck pickup. So let me show you the pedals though. So everybody should have a tube screamer, they say. Everybody always says that. I would never ever play this quietly, but it's it won't pick it up on the camera otherwise. I don't have like a microphone. Like I would never ever play this quiet. It sounds kind of crappy this quiet, but so that one's really cool. I wish you could hear it more because, like, if you turn it up, it sounds super bluesy and badass sounding. But so the blues driver is a little different. It's supposed to be transparent. So whereas the tube screamer will like make the mids sound a little higher. So this one is really cool too because so when you really dig in, it'll give you a little bit of distortion, but like if you don't, then it doesn't, which is really cool. So you can still play like kind of quiet and then dig in. So this one's super high gain. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it or not. So okay, but this is really cool. Super high gain is cool, but if you put delay on it, it sounds way better. But yeah, that one's really high gain. The cool thing though about tube screamers, you can actually turn the gain all the way down. So I'm turning the main knob, the gain, all the way down, turning the level up. And now it just boosts my other pedal. So I got this right now. So it's kind of a subtle difference, but it's like, it's a lot tighter sounding. this is pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much my stuff. Another thing, so I've got this giant, super expensive power supply. You don't actually have to have that. You can get something like this, which is just like a small power supply. And they make these where you can loop like several pedals together. Yeah, so that's cool. But anyway, all the pedals are going to go on this board here eventually. And the power supply has a little bracket I didn't know about, so I had to buy the damn bracket. But it will go under here. And so the power supply will be underneath, and then all the pedals will be on top. And it'll look a little cleaner. And then you just patch them together. These are like, I don't know, $5 or $6 a piece or something like that at the store, so they're pretty cheap. So anyway, that one. So this one's really cool because it's based on an A minor. Hello, I'm still here. Don't worry. It's based on an A minor pentatonic. So A minor pentatonic is the pentatonic scale. This is A. So is this, and so is this, and so is this. But this is A here, and so you're gonna play the minor pentatonic scale, which is like this. I don't know if you can really see it or not. Let's see if I can get this camera to like do the thing I want it to do. Probably not. It's probably just going to be weird crotch shots if I try it too much more. So I will just play guitar in a weird way so that you can see. So on the first string, it's the 5th string, and then the 8th string. Or the 8th fret. 5th and then the 8th fret. Okay, and then the next 3 strings are the same. The next 3 strings you play the 5th and then the 7th. And I'm putting that 3rd finger down just to help with the vibrato. So you definitely don't have to do that when you're playing a scale. And then the last 2 strings are the same as the first one, 5th fret and 8th fret. But why am I showing you this? So it goes 5th, 8th, and then 3 are 5, 7, and then the last 2 are 5, 8, like this. So this is a little confusing because this riff actually mixes the major and minor pentatonic scales. And that's kind of like, you know, I don't want to be here all day, but yeah, you're like, I'm already gone, man. But, so this is, so you start on the 5th string on the 7th fret. So the interesting thing is you're going to play a chromatic note. That just means like basically a note in between the notes that are actually in the scale. So now you're on your 4th string and you're going to play 5, 6, and 7. So it goes like and so alright, so you've got 5th string, 7th fret, 4th string, 5th, 6th, then 7th. And then you're actually going to roll your finger. So that's why you see my hand come up a little bit when I'm doing this. You actually roll your ring finger, which I just realized I'm not wearing my wedding ring right now. So I hope I could discover where that is later. So you're going to, when you get to the 7th fret of the 4th string, you're going to actually hit that note and then roll your finger back to the note where you started on, which is the 7th fret of the 4th string, or 5th string, damn it, 7th fret of the 5th string. And now we're just continuing along that A minor pentatonic scale to go to the 3rd string 5th fret. And then you go back to the 4th string 7th fret. But don't forget to bend that because it sounds better. So when you get to that 3rd string 5th fret, bend it just a little bit. You're not bending it like to a place. You're just bending it to give it character. You're not like bending it a half step, a whole step, whatever. Just bend it a little bit and it sounds good. And then you got to do a little vibrato on that, man. You know, the faster you play it, the less vibrato in you'll be doing. But anyway, so, alright. So to start from the beginning, we've got the 5th string, 7th fret, and then we do 5th, 6th, and 7th string on the 4th string. Now we go back to where we started by rolling our finger back. And then over to the 5th fret on the 3rd string. I know the lighting sucks here. I'm trying to like... So this part can get a little tricky. So now that we've built that up, alright, so we're ending on the 4th string on the 7th fret, and now we're going to jump right back over to the 7th string on the 7th fret on the 3rd string. So that's where we're at now. So now we're on that 3rd string, 7th fret, and we don't slide, you just jump to the 9th fret. And that's where the riff starts to get really cool. Alright, so we're going from the 7th fret on the 3rd string to the 9th. And then we jump back up to the 5th fret on that same string. So we're still on the 3rd string. This whole thing is on the 3rd string. We're going to go 7th fret to the 9th fret, back up to the 5th fret. Okay, so we get back up to that 5th fret, so we go 7, 9, back to the 5th. And then we're going to hammer on and hammer, and then come off, pull off of the 7th fret again. And then we end up right back on that 4th string on the 7th fret. And we play it twice. So we're going to go 7, 9, 5, hammer on, pull off, and then we go up 1 string to the 4th string, 7th fret, and play that note twice. And then we're going to do the same thing we did earlier. We're going to do that slight bend on the 5th fret on the 3rd string. Again. So far we've got... Alright, and then we're coming right back to that 4th string, 7th fret. And then we get to the really cool part where it looks like you're moving all over the neck. That's just an A. So that's an A right there. So you're actually playing an A power chord. So it's the open string. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm ahead of myself. Let me tell you the rest of the riff. And now we're going to play right back down that pentatonic scale, man. So this is on the 4th string. We're going to go, so we ended here. And so after we play that note on the 4th string on the 7th fret, we're going to play this. So we're going to play the 5th fret once and the 7th fret twice on the 4th string. And then we're going to play the same thing 1 string up. Except minus the 2nd note on the... So yeah, kind of the same thing. Anyway, so we're going to go 5, 7 on the 5th string. Alright, so, and then, so we're here right now. So we're coming up and we're going to do the 3rd string to the 5th string. So after we're on the 5th string, after we play 5, 7, we're going to play 3, 5. And so it's an A power chord that you're playing. So you're playing the open A, or the 5th string, and then you're going to put your finger over the next 2 strings on the 2nd fret. So you've got the 3rd and the 4th string pushed down with the same finger, and you can play whatever, either the first 2 or all 3 of them. It's rock and roll, man. It doesn't matter. But you got to do something with your arm. Something like that. So, and that is a sweet, sweet little deal, man. And then when you get faster at it, I just realized I played that whole thing on the neck pickup. It sounds better on the bridge pickup. Although he's kind of weird, the dude that played that riff, so maybe we'll try the middle. But anyway. Yeah, man. So anyway, I hope that that made any sense. Otherwise, the internet is your friend. There's a dude has a YouTube channel called Marty Music, and he does a really much better quality video than I just did, showing you how to play that riff. So it's a super addictive riff. And just because I don't think it's like too much to know, so the reason you're able to slide down to that 9th fret is there's something called the extended blues scale, or the extended pentatonic. So it's basically it's built off of the position before and the position after the one that I showed you. So there's the main pentatonic scale, it's the root scale that I just showed you a couple minutes ago, but above that scale, so above this, you've got this. And so when you're going, you're actually climbing the pentatonic scale back up to the root note. It's an A minor pentatonic scale, and you're landing on an A. And so you're actually climbing the pentatonic scale back to the root note. You're just playing it as a chord. And when you go from the 7th, that one time in the riff where you're going from the 7th fret to the 9th, there's actually another scale down here. These are just positions of the same scale. Same 5 notes played over and over and over again in different positions. So on top of this original scale, there's another scale here. And so what you're basically doing, you see me do this a lot when I'm like, I'm actually sliding down to the same notes that are in that scale. So that's that 9th fret. So you can actually slide down and play part of the next scale shape. So it probably doesn't make any sense to you, but the main takeaway is there's 5 scale shapes to every pentatonic scale, because pentatonic is there's 5 tones in the scale, so there's 5 shapes, and you can play those shapes all over the entire fretboard, where, you know, the 4th shape is above whatever. Anyway, I can't talk, so don't listen to me. But anyway, there's 5 different shapes. You can play them consecutively all over the entire fretboard. And anyway, this one's based on the A minor pentatonic scale. He also plays up here, though, and when I was doing that last part, when he's like, he's actually playing the A major pentatonic, and so the A major pentatonic, if you even care, or if I've blown your mind, I have no idea, but the A major pentatonic, this is where your A minor pentatonic starts, right? So go 1, 2, 3, and play that exact same scale shape. That's the A major pentatonic. So for an example, like this would be an A major. I'll play a riff, and I'll play the A major riff, and then I'll play right after that an A minor riff. So that was like playing just a blues shuffle. And I played the A major pentatonic. And it sounds kind of like happy, they say, and then the A, I don't know if it sounds happy. Maybe not, maybe it's the way I play it, I don't know. It sounds angry to me, I don't know. But then the A minor pentatonic. which obviously I'm a little more familiar with because I can play it a lot better. But so yeah, anyway, so that's a little bit of the guitar theory behind like why that riff happens and how badass it is. And but ultimately, I don't even know if the dude that wrote the riff knew that shit or not. If maybe he was just having fun, you know, who knows. So anyway, okay, I'm out of here, man. So hopefully, I have no idea how long this was. So if you checked out like 26 minutes ago, cool. Let me know if it was worth your time to do it. I just wanted to, I would come over to your house and we'd hang out for a couple hours, but obviously we can't do that. So anyway, just trying to fill you in on like different parts of the guitar and, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, later, man.